subnational development banks have a crucial role to play because they have the local knowledge, the expertise about the local economies, good projects, the sectors, the financial markets, the financial instruments at a regional level. And they can complement local governments to provide them with additional and complementary finance. And they can aggregate local projects and serve as a bridge with resources that are provided both regionally, but also nationally and internationally. And for example, they've played a very important role in COVID times through a sort of very important counter-cyclical response. In general, all development banks have been very valuable in their response. We can see that in Latin America and the Caribbean, the regional development banks like the Inter-American Development Bank and CAF have had an important response of about $20 billion. And the national development banks have done so at a level much stronger of about 5 times as much, over $90 billion. So very important. And specifically subnational development banks like Findeter in Colombia have played a very valuable counter-cyclical role and supported key sectors. I think there is a very valuable role. On the one hand, international and national development banks can help sub-regional development banks by providing them with additional funding, including funding, helping fund their capital, but also providing loans at often cheaper conditions, which they can pass on to their customers, so that they can broaden the level of activity, which is of course very positive for the subnational development banks and the regions that they benefit. But it's also valuable for the national and international development banks because they know they can channel the resources through an institution which has a lot of local expertise, which overcomes asymmetries of information because they're experts in their own region. And so the money will be better spent. So we have a sort of win-win situation where both actors, both the subnational development banks and the bigger national and regional and multilateral development banks will benefit. I'd like to say that the effort of cooperation between subnational development banks is something really important. And the creation, for example, of this alliance in Latin America and the Caribbean, following on the creation in Africa of these subnational development banks, is very important because they exchange experiences. And I have participated in some of these meetings and they're really extremely valuable. It's quite a contrast with commercial banks who try and compete with each other and hide what they're doing. Whereas here we have a generous exchange of experiences, which I think is very positive.